Good morning and welcome back. I am here with Shahla, but before we get started, my name is Alyssa Pajoli, and I help people with mind-body-spirit connection. Shahla, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Shahla I. I'm a transformation artist, which is my fancy way of saying that I'm a soul coach. I'm a soul and energy coach. Um,
Awesome.
I serve women who feel divine guidance through their body and know that what they feel is greater than what they think.
I know it's a fascinating concept of when we get to help guide others into that full embodiment of the mind body spirit connection and convert the idea or concept of that into a way of being that. And there is just
Definitely.
no greater gift that any of us could ever attain in my view. So what I thought would be fun for today is to ask you a couple spontaneous questions that, for anyone who's watching, she doesn't really know what I'm about to ask her. I just told her to come with a couple questions, and I'm coming with a couple questions, and we're just going to be present with you, radically honest and authentic, transparent, because that's kind of what we're about. So I'm going to start the ball and get it rolling with Shahla. What is the hardest thing you've had to overcome on a personal level?
It has definitely been overcoming the relationship that I had with my father. I can't remember how many years it's been now. I think it's been about 4 years. He cut me out of his life completely, including his will, and so I didn't have any closure around that, and I definitely went into a depression. I was starting a new career and finishing up school around the time, and my divorce. It was directly right around the finalization of the divorce. And in the last few years, I've really had to dive deep and really assess what was important to me and what wasn't. Where was my stress factors from, and how did I want to move forward? Essentially reparenting myself. What parts did I want to rewrite for myself that had been taught to me in a certain way? So I've spent the last number of years, working through my fears, working through my isolations, my financial issues, everything that came from a result of, of my father, and opening that up for myself in a way that I wanted to receive from the world, in the way that I wanted to have the divine masculine be present in my life.
Ooh. Oh. It's good.
So that's been my biggest thing to overcome personally.
What do you got for me? What's your first question for me?
My first question for you is, what do you spend the majority of your money, your extra money on? This does not include your basic living stuff, your basic living expenses. What do you spend your extra money on?
Well, I guess does like massage doesn't count, right? That's just
That's
like
an extra.
that's
That's in a living that's
for
a
me.
self-care, but yeah.
I somewhat consider any massage type of therapist or sauna time or spa kind of an extra. But then when I think about my practice and what I really push my clients to embody and have part of their lifestyle, part of their whole with a WH, part of being, it's really not an extra. So for all the people that are living kind of surface level, which there's nothing wrong with that, probably massaging, being rubbed, being healed from another person, slowing down. Other than that, it's definitely probably going places, traveling, whether it's to Ireland or it's somewhere in the States, going on cruises. I like to go see different things, eat different foods, just go be in different places with different people. Is that good? Yep.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Was that an adequate answer? Did that answer your question?
It sounded like a robot because of our internet connection, but I could hear everything just really, really slow.
Beautiful. Probably really sexy.
So travel, massage, sauna time, and travel.
Yeah. Travel and food.
Travel, food, yep.
From a holistic way of life, holistic, again, with the WH, where do you find it hardest to receive?
This has been a big one for me this last year. So
That's
this
kind of
is
why
a
I
big
want to bring it up.
question.
That's kind of why I want to bring it up.
I've been learning to receive this year. As a coach, I think most coaches, it's in our nature to give. We give a lot. So receiving is always the difficult part.
It's a little uncomfortable.
It is. Especially if you're the healing caretaker type, which I am, and I know you are as well.
So in the elements of life, where do you struggle the most?
I've been learning to go ahead.
Nope.
Okay. I would say I've been learning how to receive joy and namely joy that I create myself. And by creating it for myself, other people start creating it with me.
Can you just take a brief moment and sum up the difference of joy externally versus joy internally?
Okay. Joy internally is, I find that being present and like looking at the world, like trying to look at the world like it's the first time I've seen it, helps a lot. That creates joy in me. I get excited by how the light like flickers through the leaves, or the fact that I can like stomp on some leaves and they crunch.
What about experiencing joy externally? What's
Externally?
different about
that? Externally means that, so the first one is that I have to receive from myself. Secondly, the externally means that I receive from others. So that requires a release of control and allowing the people, knowing that the people around me are going to essentially step up and have fun with me, that I don't have to be the one to consistently create it.
Love
that
it.
I know that they're going to create joy as well.
Beautiful.
Which allows me to receive the joy. So all in all,
Win-win.
It's a win-win.
What do you got for me?
All right. Since that was difficult for me, I'm going to ask you the same question. From a holistic WH, holistic way of life, where do you find it hardest to receive?
love from myself. Just the true embodiment of like worth, but more importantly, allowing, this is difficult and it like is making my armpits sweat thinking about it.
That's why I was like, nope, she gets this one too.
I just have a hard time receiving like abundant love and happiness and joy because there is still a lot of conditioning that I've just been conditioned to really have interesting beliefs around the concept of things can't be too good for too long. And that is it's a very real thing, whether we want to acknowledge it through money, love, career, physical fitness, weight loss, just experiencing like that internal bliss when you get to a meditative point, and like joy, like you said, because joy and happiness are very different. I think happiness is an external thing and joy is an internal thing. And so with that embodiment of not necessarily receiving love and that feeling of worth and bliss and joy from within, but more importantly for an extended period of time and making that a permanent way of who I am being. So now that that's done, like, okay.
So let me see, last month, in November, another one of our fellow coaches, Gabby, and we celebrated my birthday together. And during that weekend, one of the things that came out of that was being a spiritual warrior who fights to rejoice.
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably a member of that tribe.
Member of that tribe?
Yeah, and I have no shame in it. I'm very open and transparent with, my sexuality, my way of life, and my openness of like how broken I've been, and just being okay with that's a concept of life, and it doesn't defer or describe or determine who I am. But it is a big portion of who I am being, and that's what catapults my energy moving forward to help serve others.
Fighting to rejoice.
Yeah. Yep. For me and for you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lighten it up.
Okay.
What's your favorite part about your coaching practice? What gets you off? What lights you up?
It's the connection. The exchange of energy and the connection between me and anybody that I talk to, whether they are my client, whether they're my colleague like you. It's all about the connection for me. I love seeing how the relationships develop and how they grow, and how regardless of whether it's me and my client or me and my colleagues, that there's an exchange. And that's what I love about coaching, is that unlike therapy or what I've experienced of therapy, is that you don't really get to know your therapist. You don't get to know who they are, what they do at home. And as a coach, I get to be transparent and get to show up with my broken pieces and say, you're not broken alone. And I've healed myself this far. I know you can do it too.
Oh, that's good. I love this.
I love you.
What do you have? I love this.
All right. So, what vision do you hold for yourself and for your clients by this time next year?
Ask it again.
What vision do you hold for yourself and for your clients by this time next year? Like that will be manifested within this next year cycle.
My vision that I hold for myself is new beginnings. Well, and for my clients, 2018 for me is going to be about new beginnings, complete surrendering and allowance of abundance from all aspects of my life. Like, my problem is, it's not a problem. My way of being in the past has always been about make a goal, go crush it and attain it, right? Like, I am a type A perfectionist, corporate America fitness manager who, like, that's my, like, I'm very good at just dialing in on one thing and crushing it. But what I've known to be the most healing and beneficial thing is I need to make goals of surrendering and allowing in all elements of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, social, sexual, all elements. I have to hold an opportunity to surrender and allow that greater good of anything and everything to come within. Like, my intention for myself and for my clients is for 2018 to be better than they could have ever imagined. And whether their goal was to lose weight and their outcome is to fall deeply, madly in love with themselves, that's a win.
Big
right?
win. Big win, yeah.
So my question for you is, in 10 words or less, for anyone watching, what is your words of wisdom or advice for them as they transition in 2018?
It would be, give me a second. I'm like looking at my hand.
Yep, count it out.
Release resistance. Embody breathability. I'm going to go with 4. That's it.
That's
Release resistance, embody breathability.
4 words, people. That's all she's got for you. Say them again.
All right. Release resistance, embody breathability.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for, again, giving me your time on this lovely Saturday morning.
Thank you.
I
love being
It's always a pleasure
videos
to
together.
have you.
Anytime I get to see your face.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I think it's important that the more consistent we are just with being transparent, whoever's watching, just really, really trust the nugget of information or the light that whatever one of us said, the thing that sparked you up or got your interest in, take that with you for the rest of the day and just be with that, because there's always nuggets of insight, whether it's us sharing our personal experience or us giving you hope or light, that your soul is wanting you to connect with. So take that and embody that, even
Absolutely.
if it's for 12 hours.
Absolutely, I agree. And I wrote a poem, as you know, this last week, and I wanted to share the last sentence in it because I feel that it embodies this.
Okay.
I said, "The woman I serve relentlessly falls in love with the universe, not because she is naive, but she has felt the world without warmth and chooses to be a radiant source of fire." And I want all of you out there to be that radiant source of fire.
We all have it in us. Sometimes we just need a guide to help us go get it and be it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I love you.
Mwah.
Mwah.
I love you.
Cheers.